Hey guys, this is the primer video for our 2022 pass protections. The primer, why I call it that, is this is the first video you should watch because it kind of sets the ground rules. Open up that pass protection install, take a look. I've kind of differentiated our two different protections. One is the box protection, and what that means is the 5 offensive linemen are responsible for everything in the box, tackle to tackle. We can only block with 5. Nickel, we're just going to add another blocker to that, so we can block with 6. And these numbers here are just kind of the different fronts that we can usually protect against with each type of protection. Number 1 rule, protect your vertical tube. So we can set short, 2-step, 1-2, boom, ready for a fight. Or we could set long, which is a 3 to 4 yard set. You're getting deep in your vertical set. And we're going to watch and see what comes to our vertical tube. We're going to differentiate between two different types of fronts. One is the odd front when the center is covered by a defensive lineman. The other is the even front, and usually that means that there are defensive linemen over the guards. Okay, and I've put in our install just a number of different fronts, and you can see what an even and an odd front is. And inside each is notes. Okay, but let's talk about rules now. We say to protect in our vertical tube, and you want to set vertically or straight back. However, you can start with your eyes on an immediate threat. Okay, and so an immediate threat, we're going to actually kind of qualify that now. Against an odd front, even though the center is calling, in this case, odd, Mike Jack, or J. Okay, our immediate threat for the center is the guy that's right in front of his face, the 0 technique nose guard. And he's going to be 0 in our count system. And here's how we're going to start with our eyes. The center is going to be responsible for number 0, which in this case is the nose guard. My guards are going to be responsible for the first man outside of the center. In this case, for the left guard, it's the Jack. For the right guard, it's the Mike. And the tackles are going to be responsible for the number 2 guy outside of the center with their eyes, which in this case is the end and the end. This is where you're starting with your eyes. Okay, if your guy spikes and goes hard inside or way outside, you stay in your vertical tube and you pass it off. But you have to start with your eyes on somebody so that you can yell switch to your fellow lineman. Against the nickel type of protection, and now we're just bringing in that running back, and let's say this is a Roger call. The running back is going to work to the safety, the Sam backer. Okay, remember, we can protect still the interior 5. Okay, so when he calls Roger, he's blocking the Sam, and we're going to go through our different rules on the interior box 5. Okay, once again, the center is responsible for the guy right in front of his face, the nose, it's a 0. Okay, the guards are responsible for the first guy outside with their eyes. That's where we're going to start. And in this case, for the right guard, it's the Mike backer. Okay, so in a play like this, the center might call odd, Mike Jack. The center's responsibility is the nose guard. The left guard has the Jack. The right guard starts with his eyes on the Mike. Remember, this is just where we're starting with our eyes. Everything can change post-snap, but I'm giving you an immediate threat to target pre-snap. Against an even front defense, this is why we call Roger and Louie. Okay? The count system doesn't change. The center still is going to start with his eyes on the 0. In this case, that's why he calls out the Mike backer. His eyes are on the Mike. And the guards have the first guy outside of the center. And they're right there. The tackles start with their eyes on the second guy outside of the center. That's where I want you to start. That's our rule. Vertically set, get deep or go short, depending on whatever kind of play we call in the pass game. Start with your eyes on your immediate defender. Now watch through the other different defensive fronts, and I'll give you an idea how our technique changes depending on how the defense lines up.